we're here.
Thanks for tuning into episode 8 of the Sultan of Slow Drip. I am your host, the Sultan of Slow Drip. And once again, joining me is Victor Chan.
What's up, guys?
Back in the saddle. All right. So on that last episode, we did that tasting with Jake, where we took the coffee and we split it into thirds, right?
Awesome.
Yeah, it
awesome
was really
breakdown.
interesting. Yeah,
right,
yeah.
Right.
So that's something that I used to do when I was a barista trainer.
Okay.
And we would do that with espresso.
You really get to know that coffee after doing that.
You do, yeah.
Right?
And I was kind of surprised actually by how drinkable those different portions were. In the espresso example, you actually end up with a product that's not that great. Like,
so you would do that with espresso?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
yep. So
interesting.
basically what you would do is you say we're going to pull a 30-second shot, and then you would do, instead of by weight, you would do it by time.
Sure.
So it'd be the first 10 seconds, and
Okay,
third 10.
okay.
And then you would taste those, and you just observe like the volume of the shot, like how much volume. And it had the same kind of spectrum where it's like thicker and less volume, and then as you go, it's thinner and more volume. However, in the espresso example, the first one would be like really, really sour in the way that was like undrinkable, and then the middle one would be kind of like okay, it's just like kind of meh.
Yeah.
And that last one would just be like really watery and kind of dry and hollow.
Yeah.
Just like kind of incomplete.
I would drink the extremes of the coffee that we had on its own.
Me too.
Right? Like what did it, jasmine tea? Like we described it as jasmine tea. I would have drank that on its own, and then we did establish, we went nuts over the liquid gold from the first 200 cc's.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think a lot of people would agree.
Yeah, and I don't know why the middle one didn't really do anything, but it was just kind of like
it adds body
okay.
when you put it together. I'm sure it adds body to it, but
I drank some of the first one, the thicker one, hot after you guys left. It tasted identical to espresso.
Oh, okay.
Identical.
Okay.
Like a good shot too.
Yeah.
Not just a sour shot. It had the sweetness. It had everything.
Oh, interesting.
And it got me thinking, like, man, is
that
this
could be
like,
something served.
Yeah, that could be something I
Warm.
could put into a pouch and like turn into a product or something. Like it's just like, it was really, really good. So that's something I'm gonna play around with more and just see
Fascinating.
How that comes out.
Yeah.
I had this little idea of like, oh man, I could sell that first part and the third part, just like you were saying, how those were most drinkable, where it's like turn those into different products, because that third part could be almost like a tea, like coffee for tea drinkers, and I could find a way to like just market that, like.
Yeah. You also surprised us with these pops.
Oh yeah,
I didn't see that coming.
Yeah, so
a lot of people didn't see that coming. Where did people find these pops?
Yeah, so you can go to Pretty Cool Ice Cream in Logan Square.
Okay.
They reached out to me and they said, hey, we want to do a pop with your coffee.
Okay.
Like a popsicle, and they do this really awesome coconut milk based popsicle. That's just like super creamy. It's so silky. It's like just super luscious and great coffee flavor.
Yeah. So they're out right now.
So they are out for sale. Like they're.
Oh, okay. So they're not sold out.
I don't think they're sold out.
We can still get our hands on.
Yeah, I don't
them.
think they're
Okay.
sold out. And
Okay,
then
good.
Also, by the time you see this will have passed. But I'll be having some of them here as well.
Okay,
this coming
cool.
week, so.
Stop by, guys.
Yeah. So hopefully, there's some left by the time you hear this, but they might sell out as well. So who knows? Like I've been getting people just hitting me up.
That opens doors, some
Yeah,
doors. That's
exactly.
really cool.
Sean Lewis from WGN, like he.
I saw that.
Yeah. He like DM'd me. He's like, hey man, I got mine. Like he literally placed an order for his after he got off work and drove and got it.
So
like
I didn't see any marketing for this.
Yeah.
Any ads? Like, how did people know about this?
I just posted about it on Instagram.
Oh, I on a story, in a story, or
in the story. I just posted
and then
on my
this
stories.
after that, like a same day, like people just like went out to go search for it.
I mean,
that's amazing.
Pretty Cool also posted about it as well.
Okay, I'm not following them. So
Okay, yeah, you
now
should
I
follow
will.
them.
Sorry, guys.
They have also other like they do great flavors and just the shells. Have you ever had like popsicles that have like a shell on them?
Yeah.
So they do like really interesting shells. I had one recently that was a matcha on the outside. You already had me on matcha.
Yeah.
Right. And then it was red bean paste on the inside.
Oh.
Red bean paste ice cream.
Yeah.
It was so good.
So this is the same group that partners with Pizza Fried Chicken Ice Cream.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Also another great spot in Bridgeport.
Yep. And the Kyoto Black popsicle's available there for now too.
Okay,
I don't know
cool.
if it's there now, because this is selling so quickly, but
Right.
they do have it there as well.
Okay, cool.
So,
Cool.
yeah. But they do like just really interesting flavor combos. I remember we were just talking about like our favorite ice creams, like matcha, red bean, and
was there ever
black
an
sesame.
ube one? Black sesame. Or I feel like there's no ube one at all.
I don't know. I feel like ube is something they would do because ube definitely like became a thing that people became more aware of recently.
Okay.
With I think honestly, like in Chicago, at least Kearney Donuts, like with the ube donut,
right,
like,
right,
kind of
and
blew
side
up here.
practice.
Yeah, side practice, like big time,
Yeah.
So
I know I had my eye on one of them, but pizza, fried chicken, ice cream was they weren't open on Tuesdays. I think they're like Wednesday through Sunday maybe. And,
gotcha. I still need to stop by there.
Solid tavern style. So
awesome.
Go and grab some.
Nice. Today also we're going to talk about a special limited edition Purple Label that I'm releasing. I'm releasing this twice, actually. I had some and it was so good. I already know that I had to get more of it. So I'm going to do a release this week, and then I'm going to do a release the following week. So that's when this episode comes out. So the people who see this episode will still have a chance to get the second release.
Okay.
And this is a coffee from Black and White Coffee Roasters, and they're located in North Carolina.
Okay.
And it's actually interesting like synthesis of two people who were both U.S. barista champions, who decided to get together and start a coffee business.
Okay.
So everything's just incredible on the sourcing end, the roasting end, the quality control end, and they're just pushing the envelope with coffees that are like just really, really incredible. And when I saw this one, which is it's a natural process, it's actually from Indonesia. It's from West Java. And aside from being natural process, it's also anaerobically fermented. So anaerobic fermentation is something that's like more experimental in coffee.
Okay.
And basically it can take the acidic notes and just like tweak them, like kind of modulate them and bring out like more like apple taste or more like papaya taste. And it's like you're really tweaking the acidity now with the anaerobics. So, and there are even some places that are doing like Beaujolais fermentations where they're using
And how do you know when it's the right point? Like, are you tasting throughout the process, kind of like beer, or?
Well, the fermentation is its own separate thing. Like, so you're not brewing or, tasting during that period. How do you know what
point? Is it just?
I think a lot of it's just like past knowledge. So you have certain reference points for how long a fermentation cycle should take. So, and then, there are different, styles. So like, for example, in Kenya, they'll do like a 72-hour fermentation, and that's kind of their standard, and that's why Kenyan coffees can taste so clean. Other places they might do like a 12 or 24 hour, like whatever, 36-hour, right, fermentation. So it's kind of based on what the prevailing kind of culture is as far as that. It's almost like a trade secret for everybody who does their own little
it's something that you got to just find out on your own, if not.
Exactly. Gotcha. And then doing the natural part of it as well. So what I imagine they did was they because natural processing is basically you allow that seed to sit inside of the fruit, and as the fruit raisins, as it dries in the sun, the seed starts to pick up that kind of extra nutrition and those like complex flavors and a little bit of like even booziness from it, because alcohol is produced in that fermentation process, right? Okay. And then I imagine what they did is they removed that from the natural processing stage while it was still somewhat moist and not completely dried out. And then they went ahead and put it into a fermentation tank to do the anaerobic fermentation side of things, and that probably actually cleaned it up a little bit, because if you go like full natural where it like dries out to the kind of standard dryness that you would want it to be, sometimes you get excess fermentation, and then you can start to get from booziness, you start to get almost like this garbage water type thing. Ooh. Like a little bit of taint from it, because now as that cherry starts to turn into a raisin, the potential for the skin to like rupture, and then for like bacteria or for something to get inside and start to kind of like mess with the purity of the environment, that risk increases. And then also just over fermentation.
Fascinating. This should be an episode, right? Like bring someone out or go somewhere,
talking about just like fermentation and natural processing and everything. And I can smell this from here. So let's get in here and try this.
And this is this special limited edition? Yeah,
this is the limited edition. Oh, wow. It's a little bit more pricey, but this coffee actually cost me a lot more than what I normally get. But I wanted to make it available. And this is going to be kind of interesting for the episode, because this is a coffee that doesn't taste like coffee. And then we're going to have some other things that are not coffee that taste like coffee.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Cheers.
Cheers. Thank you. It smells very light.
Yeah. Lots of berry notes, like apricot as well, like stone fruit just in general.
Wow.
A little bit of chocolate as well.
Of great texture to it.
Yeah, like very silky, very juicy.
I started drinking coffee black. Yay! And the crowd goes wild.
What made you start drinking coffee black?
It started with laziness to buy more cream.
Okay.
And then
no more hazelnut cream.
No more hazelnut cream. And then trying to really taste the subtleties in each coffee, and especially after you said like coffee's meant to be drank the way it is. Like it's not. You're not really shouldn't be adding anything to it. And you really like no matter what coffee I buy, it doesn't matter if you pour hazelnut cream, it's gonna taste like hazelnut coffee.
That's right.
So
yeah,
I'm going that route for now. So.
Okay, that's good. What coffee are you kind of liking these days?
I've been going with Metropolis a lot. That's what I find in my local grocer. But my go-to has been like for years have been Bridgeport. Coffee. Which you can find at like Whole Foods and stuff. But I used to stop there very close to where I used to work. So that was my go-to.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. I mean, the whole like phenomenon of like hazelnut creamer and stuff, which is like, it's fun, like to drink something that tastes like hazelnut and everything. Yeah. I think that's just a product of like the old philosophy of coffee, which is like that coffee flavor, where it's like the roastiness.
Right.
And it's like when you add sweetness and then some hazelnut or like vanilla or whatever, French vanilla, that kind of thing, it just tastes like a dessert beverage almost.
Correct.
You know, and that's fun,
Yeah, you're almost, and also like Francis turned me on to like 4LW and Gaslight, and all these roasters, these local roasters, like they put so much effort into making coffee the way it should be tasted, right?
Yeah.
And just throwing some like creamer in there, it's like disrespecting that.
Yeah, and then
and I know it's like it's all subjective. I understand that. And you drink the coffee however you want to be drink
right.
it. But yeah, I'm trying to respect its purity.
I hear you. Yeah. I mean, with the modern coffees too, it's like they don't lend themselves to it anyway.
Okay.
Like a coffee like this is so like heavily fruited and acidic,
right?
And like just it's juicy and it's got this whole kind of complexity going.
Yeah. I think people think of like Firehouse coffee or Diner coffee or Folgers, right? And it's
exactly.
Like, now there's subtleties to it.
Yeah. Well, this drinks like a wine almost.
Yeah.
So, like, it tastes like Beaujolais. It's got like this crazy, like kind of funkiness.
It's definitely not like it's very different from the first two, the original Purple Label and Black Label.
Oh yeah. And then I had this a few different ways. I had this as a soda, as a tonic, and it really just and also hot. This hot, like it adds a whole nother level of like understanding because when you drink something warm, the sweetness pops out a little bit more. Okay. And actually, this hot, like one thing that you do get is the silkiness, like really, really just like becomes much more apparent. Just like how soft and delicate, like the texture of it is on your tongue, even though the flavor is very big.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Well, good thing it's in a pouch.
Exactly.
They can enjoy it any temperature they want.
Yep. That's the whole point of the product. So these next couple things, should I bring them out now?
Please,
like
yeah,
okay,
sure.
Cool. So so these are some of the things that they taste like coffee, but they're not coffee. So I'm sure you can read this, right? My friends in Japan.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, so this is actually something called mugi cha.
Mugi cha?
Yeah, mugi cha.
Mugi cha.
And that basically is barley tea.
Oh.
Yeah, so have you ever had barley tea before?
Never.
Okay, so it's made from barley. You can see like the barley seeds kind of like
sure, yeah.
On the depiction there. But essentially this is drank a lot in Japan and Korea. Okay. And so like if you were to go to a shop to get like donburi, like the beef bowl and stuff like that. A lot of times when you sit down, they would just put a pitcher of this iced on the table and just give you some cups, and it's kind of like what you drink instead of water, especially in the summer. You just drink iced mugi cha. And when I first went to Japan back, I was like a sophomore in college. I had like so little experience with coffee that I actually thought this was just like wheat coffee. Like when I tasted it, I was like, damn, this is really weak coffee.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like this is iced coffee. It's like really weak tasting, and like not obviously now like my tongue like has more understanding of what coffee should taste like. So, it won't taste like coffee exactly, but it has this kind of coffee-ness to it.
Okay, that's cool.
So yeah, so I got a bit of that. So I already brewed it in a pitcher, and
Is it hard to find?
No, I mean if you go to like Mitsuwa Market or if you go to H Mart,
okay.
you can find it there.
Okay.
I mean if you have like an Asian grocer in your area, like Mugicha is not hard to find. It's just a matter of being able to like know what it is, because like it's going to be imported directly from the country generally. So unless you have like a American company that's just like doing it, like Kikkoman soy sauce.
I didn't know Kikkoman was a American country.
Or it's a Kikkoman, so they operate in California as well. But I mean they're a Japanese company.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, just like Sapporo.
But they have like a local like.
They have
domestic,
a local.
okay,
Yeah,
gotcha,
exactly.
Gotcha.
So if you were to get like, pro tip, when you want to buy soy sauce, the best soy sauce and that's like available regularly, in my opinion, is the organic Kikkoman that's made in Japan and then imported to America, because just like the soybeans that they use are just different.
Okay.
Versus the ones from California.
Okay.
So yeah, if you see the organic Kikkoman, I mean the thing is it's all in Japanese though. But if you just see like Kikkoman, maybe we can put a photo of it up.
Sure.
Yeah, to show people what that soy sauce looks like. But that's the one we get. We load up on it. It's expensive. It's like $9 a bottle, but
interesting.
But you get a lot of it. So. Yeah, let me get some of that and we can pour it up and give it a little taste.
Okay. In English, how would you spell that? Mugicha? Like M-O-O?
Yeah. M-U-G-I-C-H-A.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah. I hope they heard me. M-U-G-I-C-H-A.
Okay. Cool.
Cool. Yeah. So this is Mugicha. It's got a really... It actually smells kind of like the zoo a little bit.
Yeah, the hay from the zoo.
Yeah. Because it's it's
hay
barley.
that's been shit and sat on.
Yeah.
That musty like moistness.
I've smelled some coffees that smelled like that. You're just like, wow,
peat,
this
like
smells
moist
like,
peat.
It's peat. Yeah,
right?
Exactly. The Adventures of Pete and Pete. Yeah, but it's got this kind of funky, like hay straw.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this shows you just how like undeveloped my palate was, that I was like, oh, this tastes like wheat coffee.
Yeah.
Right?
What do you mean? Like you have a very well developed palate.
No,
but
I mean
it tastes
at
like
the
tea.
time.
Oh, at the time.
At the time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You haven't had it since then.
No, I've had it before.
No, like since the first time.
Oh yeah.
You've had it. Oh.
Yeah, I've had Mugicha like a bunch of times, but like the first time I had Mugicha, I actually mistook this for like wheat coffee. I was like, damn, this is like really weak coffee.
Yeah.
But it just, it's...
I'm not getting coffee from this.
That's interesting.
You are? You're still getting it right now?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if it was a very watered down version of the last 200 of the last poll from last episode, maybe. But it's more like a tea to me.
I mean, it's more tea for sure. It's
Yeah.
more tea for sure. Let me try to describe what like the coffee aspect of it is to me. So like imagine like a nutty coffee.
Okay.
Like a Colombian or, just like your typical kind of like just very nutty coffee. It tastes like someone made a cold brew of that and then added like way, way, way too much water to it.
Okay.
That's just what it tastes like to me. I mean, I still like get that even now, but it screams tea. It absolutely screams tea to me. Mm-hmm. But there's something to it that's like got like it's like a coffee essence in tea.
Okay.
But I don't know. Maybe I'm pulling something out that's not really like so easy to pull out. Or
I've never had Mugicha, and this is fascinating.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, in general, why would people drink this? Because they like the taste.
Yeah, I mean it's really good for your digestion. They say. I mean, I don't know, like if that's true.
I mean, so is coffee, right?
Yeah,
so.
right. It helps you poop. It tastes good. Mm-hmm. It tastes good, and it's pretty cheap. Mm. Like it's non-caffeinated, so it's like if you want to have something that's a little more interesting, because tea itself has caffeine, coffee has caffeine. If you want to have something that's like non-caffeinated but still has like a flavor. Okay. Mugicha, it's a roasted product as well too. So they actually take like the barley and they roast it. So you do benefit from like, they say that the roasting process can create like compounds that are like good for your heart or good for your digestion, you know, that kind of thing. So you're benefiting from just having like this kind of roasted product that's not caffeinated. So it's good for like old people who don't want to have any, you know, caffeine.
That's interesting. Intuitively, I would have thought the otherwise, like keeping something pure and raw would be more healthy than cooking it.
Yeah. I mean, our stomachs, you know, are used to cooking at this point. Like if you think about how long cooking food has just existed, like alongside humanity, we're probably like really well adapted for like cooked foods as well, you know?
Yeah.
Because it's like the amount of raw food that we eat, like, is not actually so high if you really think about it.
Whereas, like, I'm trying to transition the pups to more of a raw diet, so they don't have as much of a GI tract than we do, and they don't need as much fiber as we do.
Right.
They need more of an acidic diet to break down their food. And if my pups are shitting like horses, that means they're not absorbing their food.
So what are you giving them?
Just low fiber kibble with mix like goat's milk and other supplements too.
Do you give them like raw meat or anything like that too, or?
Not every day because it gets pricey, but yeah, I try to as much as I can.
Okay. What about raw egg? Yeah, that's pretty good.
Maybe like 1 to 3 times a week, and the shell and everything.
Yeah. Shell's good.
Yeah. This when I was drinking like just now reminded me of like ramen for some reason.
It does have that ramenness, and also too another
like
thing.
Egg noodle, right? Like.
Yeah. It's got that egg noodle kind of thing going. Yeah. Also too, the dryness that you taste.
I was like cottonmouth in a way.
Yeah, that's very much like a over extracted coffee. Oh, like when you overbrew coffee, you get the same sort of dryness.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Like, so if you oversteep a tea, the dryness from oversteeping tea, I think, is more tannic than from coffee, because it's plant material. So there's just like it's highly tannинed. You know, like that plant material of the tea, especially like oolongs, like whole leaf teas.
Similar to wine.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I just
the
find
more drier a wine is, the more tannins.
Yeah. Oh. I mean, that's why red wine is drier.
Dry.
You know, like.
Yeah.
And when I say drier, because we can mix terminology a little bit, because typically dryness in wine refers to a lack of sweetness.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So drying, it's like much more. They just would say tannic, and you would just kind of know what the word tannic means.
Okay.
But because when you're referring to dry wine, you're specifically referring to wine that's not sweet.
Okay.
But that drying feeling that you get from having a wine where it kind of puckers and you feel like the texture of your cheek and all that, that is the tannins at work. And basically what they do is they bind to your mouth, like their proteins, and they actually coat your mouth and they stick to it. And
fascinating.
Yeah. And that's what. So it's literally like the dryness that you feel, I think, is because they like interfere with your saliva's ability to
produce or
to touch the same receptors in your mouth.
Interesting.
So it's almost like you have
it's blocking.
It's blocking, yeah, and it gives you this feeling of being dried out. So. All right, cool. Let's move on to the next one. All right, so this one's really weird, and I find a lot of times that like. This smells like coffee to me, especially. Okay. Like the taste of it is like pretty out there. This is gonna be fun.
It looks weird.
Yeah. So this is something called natto.
Natto. Okay.
And natto is basically fermented.
Not natto.
Not natto.
But is it spelled the same?
Natto.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So this is fermented soybean.
Fermented soybean. Okay.
Yeah. So it's bacteria fermented soybean. And this also is supposed to be really good for your digestion. It's a probiotic.
Okay.
And it's a Japanese staple food.
So people just eat this straight up too?
You eat it straight up. You eat it over rice. Oh. You would cut up like green onions. You can even take a raw egg and crack that over. So you do something called tamago kake gohan is what it's called. And basically you just take like a egg yolk, just the yolk. I mean, some people like to do the whole egg. And then you would just mix that over the rice, and you can have that alongside natto and green onion, and
it sounds kind of pretty good.
It's really good, especially like with fish, and like you have some like roasted fish and stuff. Like that's a very filling and
it sounds well balanced too.
It's a well balanced breakfast, and you might have some tea or something alongside that.
Okay.
So yeah,
cool.
But this has always smelled like coffee to me, so I'm curious to see what you think about it.
It smells like chemical.
And
Or
I can mix it up a little bit.
fishy
Too.
in a way.
It's a little bit funky.
But that's that fermentation, right?
Yeah, it is. I'll give it a little bit of mix, and it actually comes with a sauce.
Definitely not getting the coffee though.
That's so funny. Because me and my wife say that this smells like coffee like all the time.
And what kind of sauce is this?
So it is just they call it natto sauce on the outside. That's literally what it's called. If I had to guess though, I would just say it's like a dashi.
Dashi. Okay,
Yeah.
I've heard of that. What is it?
It's dashi, so like basically it would be like something like kombu, for example.
Also, don't know what that is.
Seaweed.
Oh,
Yeah, so it'd
Okay.
be like something like kombu, or actually this dashi probably is a fish dashi.
Okay.
So it's like trying to remember the amberjack,
not familiar.
katsuobushi.
Still not familiar.
It's just like a type of fish.
Okay.
Yeah, they dry it out, and
Okay.
then like so for example, when you get like takoyaki, you ever have takoyaki? You ever have okonomiyaki? You ever have?
These are types of fish?
No, those are like Japanese dishes.
No.
So yeah, like you ever seen the fish flakes that they like
Yeah.
put? Yeah, that's katsuobushi. That's amberjack.
I've heard. Okay, that's
Yeah.
where I've seen dashi before.
Yeah, you make dashi from that.
They
Shave it.
shave it. I've
You
seen
shave
that.
it,
Oh,
and
okay,
then you
okay.
would boil that in like soy sauce and
okay.
and then you make a.
I think David Chang made an episode on dashi.
Yes.
For Ugly Delicious. Yeah.
Okay, so dashi is basically, if I'm remembering this correctly, dashi just means like the essence that has come out of something.
okay.
So it's almost like a stock. Like
Okay.
dashi just
yeah,
like kind
they
of.
did like boil, make a stock out of it. Too.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
So I think
interesting.
dashi just like translates pretty much like stock. So you see, this is like super duper stringy and slimy and.
Yeah. It looks like, oh man, like a spider just lays eggs.
Yeah, right. What if I just told you this is spider eggs? Like,
Bro,
you'd believe me, right?
I'd be a little more hesitant to
Yeah,
try.
right. You see how that? I mean, the flavor itself is like, it's like akin to cheese almost.
Yeah.
It tastes like a weird kind of bean cheese.
So we're eating this.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And I will give you your chopsticks. I'm going to just take a little bit over there. These are for you.
Thank you.
Yep.
Oh, these are fancy chopsticks.
Yeah, dude. My wife would kill me if I use the cheap stuff, right? And natto, I can just give you a little tip about how to eat it. So like once you eat it, you're gonna get all those little strings, and just like use your chopsticks to kind of break them up in the air and stuff, because they'll like get all over you, and you're like, oh, like Spider-Man type. so I'll just take a little bit of this here. So yeah, there we go. So how I just break them up like that.
Yeah.
As I pull away.
Wow.
Boom. There you go.
Thank you.
Yep, absolutely. Give it another smell too. That chemically smell kind of disappears a little bit.
Nope, it's more pronounced for me.
That's so funny.
It's still like subtle. It's not like like very in your face.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like
It's
my
not-
nose is literally in this. Right?
Yeah, it's not like camembert or something.
I'm not getting much.
What you want to taste anything? Does it taste like cheese at all?
No.
What does it taste like?
Like it smells, but like I'm literally like not. I'm like coffee. You're getting coffee. The taste is coffee.
Oh no. The smell is.
The smell is coffee.
Yes. Oh yeah. The smell is coffee.
Like coffee when it's brewed, or coffee when it's like.
Like dried up coffee. Like
Really?
Yeah. Like if you just spilled your coffee on your bag or something.
Oh.
And now your bag smells
okay,
like
okay,
coffee.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, but I know what you mean, but I'm not getting.
That's so funny. Cause it's unmistakable. For me, it's like, oh, it smells like somebody spilled coffee. I think this can become a theme of like further episodes now, where I bring other things that are like, this reminds me of coffee, and you're like, no, it doesn't.
Like, Justin, you're out of your mind.
You're like, this doesn't remind me of coffee at all. That's gonna be a new series.
Remember when you asked the audience like, what should we try next, or like, what should we pair with coffee? Mm-hmm. Did anyone ever answer? Did you guys answer that? Did you guys, like,
they haven't. So we got to ask again. What should we pair with coffee? Like, what should we be tasting and doing? Also, speaking of previous questions, I will answer Jake's question.
Right.
Yeah. So he asked, what does espresso roast?
What does that mean?
I mean, to me, honestly, it's a marketing gimmick.
Oh,
there's no such thing as espresso roast. There's no such thing.
Right.
Yeah, it doesn't exist.
You can use any. Are there certain roasts that are more effective for espresso?
Nope.
Oh, there you go. Well, that settles
That's
that.
it. Right. You like it?
Nope.
Why are you still eating it then? You don't have to finish it.
It would be disrespectful if I didn't finish this. I was not raised to quit.
We're gonna just like zoom in. Like, so what if you had to do like you know how they have like the hot dog eating competitions, where you had to do like a natto eating competition? Like, you're just like,
I'm miserable doing this, but I'm gonna finish this, guys.
Oh my god. So like, yeah, walk us through what you're getting, because okay, if you don't like it, I'm just curious, like, what is it that you don't like? Like,
everything about it. So like, there's no taste to this.
What?
It tastes like it smells. It's very subtle. And just mushy in my mouth. I'm not the greatest at chopsticks either.
That's so funny. I eat that like so much.
You eat this often?
Often. Very, very often.
Because you like it.
I love it.
Oh my goodness.
You know who else loves it too? My daughter.
She doesn't know any better yet.
I know. Yeah.
But good for her.
Yo, actually, of all the things that she likes, you know what surprises me the most is she likes sparkling water. And I know a lot of people like don't like sparkling water because it tastes kind of bitter.
What about like mineral water in general?
She loves mineral water.
Good for her.
Like, I was giving her some of the waters we tasted in our first episode that we did, and she'll beg me for more. She just bothers me all the time for more sparkling water. Whereas like my mom, for example, she's like, she makes the funniest face when she drinks sparkling water. She's like, it's so bitter, you know. So
I think it's another acquired taste.
It's an acquired taste. Yeah.
But that's something that like there's benefits to it too.
Yeah.
You know, and I think you'll acquire the taste after you get over the fact that it's good for you.
Right. Yeah. Sounds like something a parent would say.
I mean, even if it didn't taste funky, when you buy, maybe just like when it's filled with sodium, there's like a full body to it.
Yeah.
It coats your tongue.
Yeah.
In a certain way.
Yeah. Like those minerals are kind of filling in a way. I'm watching you just troop through it.
I'm trying, guys. I'm just let me just fork the rest of it because I'm like struggling with these chopsticks.
Bravo.
Yep.
Bravo. You don't have to go too hard because you'll definitely get it all over you. It's like, it makes all these spider web like strings and stuff, so it's like really, and it's funky.
Thank you, bro. It wasn't the worst.
Yo, so this secret, like this was all just a ploy to force you to drink natto. That's what the whole ploy of the episode was.
Eat natto?
Or to eat natto.
I was like, because I thought we were going to drink that.
Yeah, no.
I was like, what the fuck is this?
Question of the day.
Okay.
What is the funkiest thing you like to eat?
That I like to eat. It's not funky. It's like tamarind.
That's it? That's the funkiest thing you like to eat?
The funkiest that I don't like to eat?
No, you like to eat.
Well, I'll just like put it out there. Durian. I know some people like durian.
You like durian?
I don't like durian.
Okay.
I know, but like something that I enjoy eating. The only thing that comes to mind is like tamarind. Maybe sushi, like different types of sushi.
Okay.
Could be funky, but I don't want to say like I'm a bland guy because I like food in general, but I can't think of something that's.
I love the way durian tastes, but I can't smell it while I'm eating it. Like, I literally have to just like not breathe in. Yeah. It tastes really good.
I don't like the texture.
I mean, the texture's like kind of ice creamy, like a little like mushy. Yeah. It tastes really good and smells really bad. Until you smell enough of it, and then it smells good.
That's just like stinky feet. If you work in a hospital and like your patient comes in with stinky feet, like you smell it for the first time, like, oh my god, how do people work here? But like after 15 minutes of being in that environment, it's like you're gone. It's gone. You're used to it by then.
I never get used to stinky feet.
Oh.
I think I have trauma because I had like 10 uncles.
Uh-oh.
So like stinky feet was just like a thing that just was ingrained into my childhood memory. All those uncles with stinky feet. So it sets me off.
Not just that, but if you want a visual, there's just like the crusty feet.
Yeah.
With like the curly toenails and things like that.
I would say probably the funkiest thing though that I really enjoy is like different cheeses, like the really funky, like extremely like camembert, like really funky cheeses.
Okay.
Like some of them that just kind of like they smell almost like lye, almost like a chemical. Mm-hmm. Like really, really.
Do they taste just as chemically?
Sometimes, yeah.
Then what's enjoyable about it?
I don't know. It's just like I don't know. It's just good. Like there's so much umami and like just
right. And you're intolerant.
I am. Yeah.
Okay, so maybe kimchi. I mean, kimchi's kind of pungent.
Kimchi's pungent.
I enjoy kimchi.
I enjoy kimchi too. These days, like I find it harder to enjoy kimchi because I'm also allergic to shellfish. And kimchi has shrimp in it, so like shrimp shells.
Does it?
Yeah.
I've never noticed that.
Yeah, it has shrimp shells.
Oh.
And just like the smell of shellfish will kind of set me off sometimes.
Okay.
I associate it with an allergic attack that I've had. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just had some wings earlier, and they were the chef's own like fish sauce recipe.
Oh wow.
And I don't know, the guy that I was with isn't into fish, and like,
really?
I'm like, try this, and he didn't tell me anything, and he's like,
you just like tortured.
He's
him?
like, I'm just gonna plug my nose and try. He's like, it's good. So same thing like what just happened.
Oh
like,
wow.
So I'm like, all right, go order your own wings. Like,
I bet I would love that though, like because
it was good.
I mean, fish sauce is really good. It stinks though.
It does. It's. But I don't mind the smell.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I was just raised around it, so.
Gotcha. Yeah, it makes sense.
But
interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, what pungent things have you guys like tried that you kind of like low key really enjoy? You know.
And also, if there's anything that tastes like coffee or smells like coffee or it has any sort of resemblance to coffee that is not coffee, let me know so I can.
That was not it for me.
So I can run it by Victor, and Victor ultimately is the gatekeeper. So apparently, none of these things taste like coffee or smell like coffee or have anything to do with coffee. So
I'm gonna have some more of this
to wash that down. Yeah, I'll have a little bit too. All right. Well, I think we'll call that an episode then.
Yeah. Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
All right. I like that.
That's good.
Yeah.
Mugi cha.
Mugacha. I'm thinking mochi.